I know the meeting with Bay County has been ongoing, and we do have a few letters from the Bay County, or from Bay County's planning and zoning. But you guys haven't met with them since their last meeting, or the last letter that was the 18th of October?
Yes,
Right?
that letter is part of the normal DRI process where everybody comments. They put it on their agenda, they said grace over it, and it came to us, I think almost the same day or the day after a workshop that we had with the county commission. The county is going to meet with Bay County.
Has that meeting been set yet?
I have a question. Where do you anticipate that your subdivision is going to shop at? In Bay County?
Oh, no,
Western
no,
County?
no, no. We, because this is an adults only, and if you've ever been to the villages, that's large enough to be a nationwide catchment area. You know, to have the Pennsylvania group and the Idaho group and different groups in the villages. We're much smaller than that, but we have, I think, a 3-state, 7-state catchment area. It's all part of the economic analysis and in the regional report, because it's a destination. When some of us will reach retirement age, we might want to be in a community that is just adults. And it will be deed restricted, that's in the development order as well. And so there is a much larger catchment area for marketing that. There is no similar type of development in the Panhandle.
What is your subdivision bringing to Washington County?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because although there are many existing vacant lots in Washington County, there are none that have the level of infrastructure and amenity improvements that are guaranteed by this project. And so we're not competing with every other vacant lot. We are having a separate, and we think a very high level of development in this. And what we bring to you, and if you would peruse the regional report, and not to be crass about it, but we bring tax money. Our value will far exceed the cost of services, and so we will be a very strong positive benefit to the county from a tax standpoint. We think we bring a product to the housing market in this whole geographic area that will bring people to Washington County for cultural events and other types of things. That's what this whole thing is geared to.
It seems like everyone wants to live in Washington County, but they want to shop in Bay County. They want to live up 77 and go down across that bridge.
So we're not, because of our geographic location, we are not a regional shopping mall destination. We are having the amount of commercial necessary to serve our residents, hopefully to create an on-site, and they won't have to go off-site. And we want to have the dock in the box and the other regular things that people use in their daily living, so they won't have to get in their electric vehicle and golf carts is what we used to call them, and get around.
So they're not going to Wausau.
I hope that maybe they're a golfer, and there's plenty of golfing in sunny hills, but they won't have to go all the way down.
Okay, Catherine DeRosia, sorry.
Good evening, everyone. After attending a couple of the meetings, the 2 meetings that they did have in Buckhorn for public information, several of us left those meetings very unsatisfied, as questions were not answered. Some questions were just basically told it was none of our information, and they really didn't have to answer our questions. They've elected me to drop a statement off for y'all. I'd like to read it, and it's signed by 86 citizens directly affected by this development. It says, the residents of Buckhorn Creek, Quail Hollow, and Country Oaks demand to have our voices heard at the Washington County Planning Commission adoption hearing, November the 1st, and the Washington County Board of Commissioners adoption hearing on November the 21st. We are opposed to this project as it will have a negative impact on the rural country lifestyle that we have for the following reasons. Water. You've all heard the water. The project's deep wells will impact our existing wells. The project's shallow wells will impact the ecology of the area. And I would like to add to that, it's admirable that they're going to try to go ahead and reuse some of that water, but we all know in our summers here, anybody who has any size garden, you realize how much water you lose in the evaporation process. There's no way that even 30% of that water that they're using for irrigation will go back into the water tables. It evaporates. That's just science. Noise pollution. The construction noise, this is a project that they say will continue for 10 years. We enjoy it out there where we live. It's quiet, it's serenity. That's why we choose to live where we live. We have to buy our vehicles every 4 or 5 years because of the dirt roads. Those are sacrifices that we make. We make the sacrifices of traveling to go to work and buy our groceries. The maintenance activities, 5,400 people out there mowing yards, blowers, increased traffic, just the road noise from increased traffic, and the events within Rhythm, and 5,400 people barbecuing and partying on their weekends. It's going to create a lot of noise. Light pollution. In the DRI, they stated that they're going to be within the dark sky requirements. However, homeowners are not subjected to that. You can put security floodlights, your decorative lighting, your landscape lighting, and escaping light just from your home itself. That as well as the retail space, not to mention all the traffic headlights. The sewage treatment plant. The sewage treatment plant is located in the headwaters of creeks that drain directly into Econfina, the watershed. A simple broken pipe or a leaky retention pond could spell disaster for Econfina watershed. Hurricanes can and will cause flooding, creating a health hazard at the sewage plant. Traffic. Increased traffic will impact the safety of our citizens who routinely use the roads for walking, bicycling, horseback riding, and exercise. I realize that they do want to say that everybody's going to stay within that little old area of 3 square miles. My parents are in their late 80s, and I'm here to tell you they go a lot more than 3 miles. Environmental. Numerous disease-carrying animals and reptiles, including venomous snakes, will be driven onto our properties by the development. This is especially scary just in the last couple of weeks, what's going on with Bay County with rabies. And once you start getting in there and digging up things, there are going to be a lot of dangerously displaced animals. It's going to create a health hazard for those who live adjacent or near the project. Along with 5,400 people, we're going to have a lot more people competing for hunting, fishing, boating, and swimming areas. This county does its best now with the funds that we have to maintain our little lakes and our boat ramps and our hunting areas. And it's going to put a huge impact on it. The water runoff from the project is going to contain fertilizers and pesticides, which will impact our shallow water table, including the lakes, the creeks, the streams, and the ponds. And jobs. 55 and up, there's a lot of us that have no plans of retiring at 55. Some of us work well into our late 70s. The development's residents are going to compete for the few available jobs in the area, thereby increasing unemployment. That is signed by 86 individuals just in the last 10 days. And I'll give that off to y'all.